One of my favorite side effects or benefits of keto is the passion that came around coffee. I adore tea. I grew up in the UK. I adore a lot of the green teas that we have had so much exposure to throughout Asia. But I never had such a passion for coffee until I really got into nutritional ketosis. And guess what? I thought I would share with you just like 2 or 3 of my absolute favorite coffees and the way I like to drink them. So I'm going to start with coffee that has MCTs or medium chain triglycerides in it. I love the simple fact that this was an ancient tool that people all over the world would use, where instead of putting milk in their coffee because they didn't have refrigerators, they would be adding butter or ghee to their coffee, and that was just the way that it was, made creamier and more delicious. So I love the idea, and I love drinking coffee that has both butter and or ghee and some MCT. I like to use my own MCT because I like the organic form. I like the form of MCT that is extracted with enzymes. A lot of MCTs out there, like the more conventional ones, they use hexane. And so that was a big warning sign for me, and I don't want that in my body, and I certainly don't want the people in my world consuming that by accident. So making a coffee with grass-fed butter, delicious. And the way I like to do the bulletproof coffee or Dave Asprey's coffee is I like to sort of build up to it, right? Not too much MCT at the beginning because it is bypassing your digestive system. It's going right to your liver, and within 4 hours you're producing a lot more ketones. And so that's a lot of work for your body if it's not accustomed to it. So slowly but surely I add the MCT. So maybe I start with a teaspoon and a teaspoon of butter, and then I can build up to a tablespoon of MCT and less butter. And you can try it in a lot of different ways, but I love the fuel, I love the energy, I love the way it feels in my mouth, and I love the fact that it's a great way for me to benefit my nutritional ketosis and feel good. My second favorite type of coffee that I love on keto is a coconut-based coffee. So the MCTs are coconut, but I love adding coconut cream to my coffee. I like to grind my own coffee beans. I like to use organic beans. I like to make sure that they're clean, they're fresh, and when I add coconut milk, it just has all of the good nutritious fats in it, and then I add a teaspoon of MCT, plus adding this like very fresh and clean coffee bean that's organic. It makes a delicious, delicious type of coffee. And then we've got what I'm drinking right now, which is all about, the good dairy. So I typically get heavy cream from a local farmer where I live. I get it from my farmer's market. And I'm a big believer in eating food locally. Like, that's huge for me. And so I use this organic and pasture-raised heavy cream in my coffee in the morning, and I'll use probably about a 1/4 cup. So I'm getting a lot of the good fats. I'm starting off right. I like to drink my coffee not first thing in the morning. I like to wait until my cortisol levels have dropped a little bit. So I know it's very easy to get in the habit of drinking coffee very early when you're first getting out of bed. And I'm not suggesting you break that habit, but if you feel like trying something different for a week or so and just seeing how it makes you feel throughout the day, I will have my first and only cup of coffee usually around 10 or 10:30. And if I feel like another cup of coffee a little bit later, I'll always make sure I drink it before 2 p.m. because I don't want that additional caffeine in my body, because it takes so much time for my body to metabolize it. So I'll have, if I'm going to have a second cup, I'll have a cup of decaf, so I'm getting a lot less caffeine that way. So I don't add any sweeteners to my coffee. I have gotten so much, I just love the cream. I love the coconut cream. I make my coffee very thick, either with butter, whatever it may be. So I don't need the sweetener, but for those of you that do need a sweetener, or you're going to work to get off the sweetener, I think monk fruit is an unbelievable way to help you and help you train yourself to sort of make that transition. You can't use honey, you can't use molasses, you can't use sugar. All of those sort of things interfere with the ketone production and the utilization. Those are a couple of my favorite recipes. I love to hear about your favorite recipes. You can share them with all of us, just in the comments below. It's great, and I love the sense of us really being able to overcome that feeling of overwhelm. I want us to ask each other the questions. As I'm sitting here doing this little coffee video, talking to some of the people on our crew, are other types of fats like margarines and things like that good? And the answer is no. And I know that you probably have more questions, so add them into the comments, ask the questions. We're here to support each other. And if you like this kind of content, you can always subscribe or hit the bell to get notifications. Love connecting with you, and look forward to next time.